Welcome back to another wonderful edition, and this is, believe it or not, this is our season 2 premiere.
Of
Brad
season.
didn't think we would be around for a year,
You didn't think it'd last.
but here we are. And just like most premieres, we have a heck of a guest. We really wanted to kick this season off right. We got Carter Trumbore, and hope you're seated because this is going to take a minute. I'm going to read off
I was going to say
some of his records, and pretty much he's got every record you can have in Butler just about when it comes to the sport of basketball.
it's going to take a minute.
He's a 2-time All-State, 3-time All-District, 2-time District Player of the Year, 3-time Conference Player of the Year. He holds the Butler High School record for career points, steals, assists, field goals, free throws, single season record for points, and actually broke his own record in points the last year, so he's 1 and 2 there. Single game records for points, assists, steals, field goals, free throws. So really done all. Glad to have you here with us, Carter.
Thank you.
A tremendous year and tremendous career at Butler High School. Just, again, being able to call a lot of his games, that was so amazing. But we want to go back a little bit.
Go back.
When did, just for people out there that may not know, when did you start playing basketball?
Oh gosh, probably when I was like 4, 5,
Okay,
maybe
okay.
pretty young, really
Right.
young. So I mean, as soon as I could pretty much pick up a ball and start
Gotcha.
going, I was going.
Okay, because your mom got you in, I'm sure,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
She was
Oh yeah,
big
yeah, well,
motivator in that.
when she was a junior high coach, I was
Right.
I was practicing
Okay.
with them, and then she was the high school coach, so I practiced with them. So
I remember my daughter talking about that,
Yeah.
right? She's like, "Yeah, Carter came in. He was playing with us today.
Yeah.
That's fun."
Probably
Lot
beat
of-
them all, huh?
lot
Well,
of-
yeah,
lot of
Showed 'em all.
memories.
I'm sure he did.
Just little brother Carter's what they called me.
Yeah, that's good.
Yep.
That's good. That's awesome.
You learn a lot doing that.
Oh,
Started
yeah.
to pick up a lot of
learned a ton. Yeah.
yeah. That just time in the gym. It's so valuable. So, yeah, obviously you wear number 4 on the court. Sometimes there's meaning behind the numbers you wear. Sometimes there's not. Is there a reason you wear 4?
I mean, my favorite player wears it, Devontae Graham.
Okay.
So, like, it wasn't like I wasn't number 4 until probably my 7th grade year, I'd say. Like, I was switched between 23, 12. That was my mom's number.
What 12 was?
Yeah, and then
Okay.
I went 30 for a while, but then once junior high hit, I went number 4 because I really liked Devontae Graham. Watched him a lot. So.
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna maybe jump forward and then go backwards. But so Devontae Graham's your favorite player.
Yeah.
Is that who you've kind of styled your game after, or is that another player?
Honest style of play was there's so many players. It's you try to pull the best part from every player.
Love
I mean,
that.
You can't go wrong when you get the best thing from everybody. So I don't know. I just thought it was really fun watching Devontae. I was young when he was at KU, and we had a good core at KU that time. So
Right,
it was
right.
just fun to watch.
Yeah, big KU fan. I know that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
huge
yeah.
KU fan.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Just good basketball.
Yeah, they do a good job. Bill Self does an incredible job, and so did Roy Williams before him. So,
Yeah.
so in getting along with that, what would you consider? And I'll say, just from watching you, I know kind of how you like to play the game as far as ball movement and your movement. But what's your favorite move? You're like, I'm going to score on this every time, or big majority of the time. What's your favorite move?
If I'm feeling good with my shot,
Okay.
I'm probably gonna hit a little right-handed circle dribble.
Okay.
Then I'm pulling it back between my legs for a 3.
Okay.
I've done that quite a bit.
Yes, you have.
And then if I'm getting a layup, I'm taking it right at you. I'm probably hitting you in the chest.
Okay.
And I'm finishing off a 2.
I think that's how. Is that little pullback 3? That's how you got. Was it your 2000th point?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
think
remember it was
so.
some significant bucket. I don't. You've
Yeah.
had so many of them though.
Right.
I didn't.
Maybe it would have been to break the career record.
That
'cause
might have
my-
been it.
My 2000 was at Clinton.
Okay, yeah, because it was at a home game that I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
And I remember because I remember talking to you after the game, and I was like, you're like, yeah, I wanted to do something cool for that bucket.
Yeah.
And you pulled your little step back, and we've seen it 100 times now,
Yeah.
more than that probably.
That's the ankle breaker move.
Yeah.
I love it. Right.
And see, I was wondering if you weren't going to say getting to the free throw line because you do that
Oh.
well too. I mean, that's kind of one of your go-tos as well.
Yeah. Well, talking about that and records and stuff, I'm actually number 2 or 3 in all of Missouri for record shot, like made free throws.
Wow, that's impressive.
That's
in a
very
career.
impressive.
That's
Yeah.
impressive.
So-
Getting to the line is so important, and then knocking them down once you
Oh.
get there.
Yeah,
That's
that's the big deal.
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
Well, and you've always done it because I remember, like as a freshman, late in game situations,
They put me
when-
on the line every time.
Yeah. When there was,
Right.
they're going to foul somebody. Oh, let's stick this freshman in that they
Right.
won't think about, not, and then they foul you and you sink them.
It doesn't work out. for
Yeah.
'em.
Yeah. Spoil it.
Well, I was gonna say you gotta make them pay, right? Make them
right.
pay. But okay, so you own so many records at Butler, and again, I don't want you to
Do you-
read
do
them
you
off
wanna- you wanna
again
go back to
because
the-
no, I do not
Okay.
because there's a lot. But those didn't start at Butler High School. Those started many, many years before that. So what was your preparation, not only off season, but you said you started at 4 years old, basketball in your hand. What things do you really emphasize for you to get better so you can, again, have the great accomplishments you did in high school?
A lot of ball handling.
Okay.
Can't take the ball from you. You'll probably stay on the floor a lot longer.
Very true.
A lot of shooting, ton of shooting. Get up a lot of shots.
Okay. Okay.
So, I mean, a
And
lot of time in the gym.
I was going to say, and you talked about going between your legs and then having the shot put up. Obviously, you can't go between your legs unless both hands are
Yeah, if they're
valuable,
fully
right?
developed. If they're not developed, then
right.
you can't do much.
Yeah, so important, right, to work
Yeah.
with both hands, whether it's, and I was going to say, when you said going to the hole, hitting you in the chest, I saw you finish with your left hand. I saw you finish with your right hand. So important. And, you did a great job. And I always tell kids this, when you only dribble with your right hand or you can only go to your right, you're cutting half the court off.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
They don't have to guard it.
Yeah, the defender's twice as good because he's only got to defend half, right? So going to that left hand, so important. You did a great job with that. And obviously fundamentals. And that's a big fundamental that I think a lot of kids lack.
Oh, yeah, because I remember when I was young, I used to get mad all the time at my mom because all my friends were out there. They were chucking up threes.
Right.
They were just doing right-handed layups and just dribbling all around with their right hand. I'm like, I just want to do that. And no, she made me stay close to the basket, work on my form, work on my ball handling.
Like
so
it.
it was just like, looking back at it, I really appreciate it. But
Absolutely.
Oh, it pays off.
Because when you're a kid, right, you look at the older kids or older guys, right, even in the NBA and college and go, oh, that's where the game's going. Because obviously, the game has evolved farther away from the basket. But when you're younger, right, your form distorts when you're having to chuck the ball because you're not strong enough to shoot it correctly.
Very true.
So that's why, obviously, that was really good of your mom. Stay close to the basket. You make sure you have good form. Use your left hand, obviously. So, yeah so good.
Well,
So
another
good.
thing that I know you do a lot of that you didn't mention is just in the film room, too.
Oh,
I mean, I know there was some coaches that we talked to, and they're like, when you were even younger, a freshman and whatnot, they're like, this Carter kid, he's in the film room like crazy. Like he comes early to film session, stays late, and then he's just watching film all day at home. So I mean, just studying the game,
Log a lot of
student.
time on huddle.
yeah, just being a student of the game.
Huddle is amazing. What a amazing tool that Huddle is for you guys now.
Oh, yeah, it's phenomenal. Just scouting, rewatching the game, seeing what worked, what didn't work. I mean,
Right.
all of it.
So major. And I will say, for parents out there that have younger kiddos, kids have transitioned from verbal instruction, right, to now, because they're on their phones all the time, or they're in front of an iPad or a computer, whatever, TVs. They're so much more visual now.
Oh, yeah.
If you can film the games and then talk to them about it and really explain what works and what doesn't, so important.
Well, and I don't know if you'll remember this or not, but I know you remember the game. There was a game this season, and I remember talking to you before the game, and I was like, how are they? So they got two guards that can score really well, but I don't know if they can stop me. I don't know if they can defend well. And you went out that night and you dropped 63 points.
Yeah.
So just studying that, I mean, that scouting, and like, okay, this is their weakness now. I've found it. I'm going to exploit it. Obviously, there was a lot more going on in that game because, being able to score 63 points, you've got a lot going on. You're just in the zone. How'd that game feel? How was that game?
Dude, it felt great. I mean, just every shot I put up, it felt like it was going in, and if it didn't,
And most of them did.
Yeah, rare shot that didn't go in that game. It hit both sides of the rim and bounced out. So it's just like, I might as well shoot the next one.
Yeah,
and
you're on it.
I remember one that was like, I'm on one. I literally dribbled past. I stopped with a defender on my back, shot it as he ran into me, and made the three. And
Yeah.
it's like, yep, I'm on one tonight.
Yeah, I think you got the foul call too, didn't you on that one?
I don't think there was a foul.
Okay.
Should have been.
Yeah,
Should have been. Right.
The ref didn't get down there in time. It was probably Sean McVay reffing that game, and it just no, but yeah, that was a fun game to watch. And I think you had, was it 39 at half, which went in the records book as points and a half, and then it just that was a fun game to watch.
It really was, and I want to say, and talk about one of your seniors that was on the team, but Dylan Davidson, that young man.
Oh, he was great. Yeah.
Outsized. I don't know that he was ever paired up.
No.
Right? And for him to work as hard as he did, and then, what I really appreciated, because Dylan's always worked hard.
Oh, he's an extremely hard worker.
Yeah. This year, boy, did he do a great job of kind of finding his offense. Mm-hmm. That little jump across the lane thing that he developed, and I never really saw him really work hard at that in years past. But boy, he found that, and he used that a lot.
It was a go-to.
Yeah, and it was solid.
It worked a lot.
Well, he's so much more athletic and so much quicker, I think, even than the bigger guys that he was going against.
Oh, yeah.
That he could do that little jump to the side, and it was almost always on the left side of the lane, jumping to the right side, going up, and finishing. Did a great job.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
and that makes it easier to shoot, right? When you've got a kid in there working so hard to get rebounds.
Yeah.
Obviously, Chandler did a great job as well.
Yeah, and I'd put Dylan up there. I'd put Dylan to get a rebound over any big we play.
Oh, absolutely.
He'll go get it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was impressed with that. I know we're here to talk about Carter, but as we're talking about Dylan, I was impressed with as you're talking about the jump he made, because he wasn't a bad player his junior year.
No,
but he made a significant jump in between junior and senior year.
Yeah.
And so I think that goes into what you're talking about, just time in the gym too, and just, okay, I'm going to get better. And then he did, and it pays off.
Yeah, he did a great job. But, and again, your all's senior year was, and not that other ones weren't, but this year was a ton of fun to watch, just as a spectator, just enjoying good basketball and doing the things that you all did. And again, the other guys on your team, they stepped up as well, whether it was Hammett or Mallet. Those kids did a really nice job. I was really impressed with them.
Yeah.
Don't go anywhere. We got more questions for Carter right after this commercial. Tailgate TV is thrilled to partner with O3 Customs, the official hat sponsor of Tailgate TV Sports and Outdoors. But they do more than just hats. They do all kinds of custom engravings, including tumblers and any other needs. Your one-stop shop for engraving. O3 Customs out of Adrian.
And we are back with Carter Trumbore.
Yes. So, Carter, you've made a lot more shots than anybody in Butler High School. You've made a lot of shots in your career. Out of all those shots, can you pick one? And you may have to go 2 or 3, but what's your most memorable shots in your career?
There's a lot of them. I'd say this year my favorite one was Eldo at home. 3.3 seconds left on the clock or something. Down 1, full court, all the way, layup. So that was a great shot. And then the reaction of everybody just watching it back. I think I watched it back 5 times just to watch reactions.
Right.
It was great. That was an awesome experience.
Hit that at the buzzer to win the game, down 1, yeah.
And again, memorable because of this, but Lucas Davison coming in the game.
As a freshman, made a big pass in and
hit his brother at midcourt and then tossed to the sideline to you and then the beeline to the basket. And I was like,
I didn't think there was enough
no,
time.
I was scared. I was like, oh.
I'm like, because when you got there, I thought you were going to get to the 3-point line and just
that's
suck
what
up
I
the 3.
thought.
And then when you didn't, I'm like, he's going to dribble out till and so that's, I think after the game, I told you, I'm like, for you to have that clock in your head and stay calm.
It's phenomenal.
And okay, I know how much time that was a great shot.
I thought for sure you were going to stop and pop.
That's what everybody told me. I'm like, honestly, I was just going for it.
I don't know that's not, now again, obviously there were defenders there, but I almost think that's what Eldo thought.
Yeah.
I think that because I don't remember their big guy's name that they had in the lane at the time, but he didn't come over.
No.
Because to me,
That's where you put him. It's right at the rim.
you're on your behind, right?
Yeah.
If you're coming down the lane, with that make you make him from the free throw line. Not that you wouldn't have, but obviously
Oh,
you're
yeah.
shooting 2 as opposed to 1 at from 1 foot.
Yeah.
You're on your rear end, and I'll foul out fine, but yeah. So, but that was, and then you're right. The kids.
Oh, storm the court.
Yeah, and then even like the fans' reactions too. Like I remember I switched up the camera angles on Huddle and
Right.
I just I'd watch individual sections of the gym and
Right.
just everybody. It was just great.
Well,
It
and
was
to
awesome.
see that much emotion because you had half of the fans that got excited, but then you had the Eldo fans too, and we'll just say they weren't as excited.
Yeah, not at all.
Yeah. So just to see the reaction that you garnered, good and bad.
Yeah.
It
Well-
had to have just felt good.
And I want to go back to Eldo in the past. You came out your freshman year, and help me with the young man's name, the lefty for that
Murray.
Yeah. Was it Landon
You-
Murray?
Yeah,
Is it-
Landon
You
Murray.
all battled your freshman year,
Oh, back and forth. Yeah.
your sophomore year, your junior year, and then that game. And that young man is that your freshman year when you all were taking bombs. I mean, you all were 5 foot behind the 3-point line, just bombing them, and it was going back and forth. I appreciate that young man's just want to, right? Because he obviously played football and other things, but that was fun watching. It's so much fun to watch 2 players go at each other and do it because he respects you, right? You respect him for what he did, and that's a lot of fun to see that back and forth. That was that was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, and I think you even met each other at an All-Star game, right? Was he
Yeah.
on your
Right.
team in that game
No,
or
he was
against
on-
you?
He was on the opposite.
Okay, so
Yeah, I
met each
remember
other on
that,
that
yeah.
game as well.
Yep.
Now, tell us about that a little bit.
Dude, it was a lot of fun. I mean, a lot of great players, a lot of good players there. So it's a good experience. I mean, I played well. So we lost by like 3 or something. But it's an All-Star game, win-loss. It really doesn't matter.
Yeah,
No.
well,
So,
and that's what it didn't look like. It was necessarily because we watched it. I think they were live streaming it, and
It was like an NBA game.
Yeah,
There
it was
no
like an
defense.
NBA All-Star game, and it was like, yeah, this is not because you're such a fundamentally. I'm going to go out there and play basketball, and that was more of I'm going to go out there and chuck up shots, which you still, you did well, but it was like, you can tell that's not Carter's element. Carter wants to.
yeah.
Play the
I
game
wanna
of
be in a-
basketball.
I want to be in a system.
Right.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. That was fun. We watched it, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did a good job down there. That was fun.
You seem to always play with a lot of intensity and confidence. What kind of drives you like when you're on the court?
Probably just the work I put in before. I mean, just knowing that I've put in the work, and it's like, I mean, like it's not necessarily true, but it's like I put more work in than this guy across from me. So it's like, why should he get a better shot than I do? So it's like I have all the capability.
Well, and I think too, and I say this often, especially when we've seen some people do some goofy stuff on the court, and we're like, why are they doing that? Why? If you've practiced and put the time in the gym and done something 100 times, and like you have the confidence, I've made this shot 100 times last night at practice, I can make it now.
Oh yeah.
Then
Yeah.
it gives you that boost of confidence because you're like, I know what I can do.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I've always said, if you practice how you play, I think everybody says that, but it's
so important.
so just knowing that I think gives you that little bit of confidence too.
Absolutely. There's nothing more important, right, than just, again, as you said, just putting up a lot of shots, making sure that you understand what you're doing. And you can shoot all day, but if you're not fundamentally sound,
Yeah.
it's you might as well be selling lemonade.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so.
And I mean, just a positive attitude helps a lot too, because it's draining enough going training. It's not always fun playing the games. I mean, not gonna lie, playing games isn't always fun if you're having a bad game. So it's just like you got to stay positive because I mean there'll be enough negativity.
Absolutely.
It's just like
Speaking of positive, that kind of leads into the next question I had written down here. What is the most valuable lesson that basketball has taught you?
probably, I mean, just working with others, just teamwork. I mean, different scenario for each person. I mean, just some people respond to stuff differently than others. I mean,
Absolutely.
So yeah, we were kind of talking about that before the interview, that kids don't always hear things the same, and the same way with teammates.
Oh, yeah.
Right? There's certain ways that, okay, this guy, he responds better if we're a little bit more on him, or this guy responds better if you're building him up. I know when I was in college, I had this guy, and best basketball player I've ever seen. Played with that kind of thing.
She played with Reggie Miller.
No, I was on the team, but I never played. He was way ahead of me. But that guy, he was always talking me up.
Mm-hmm.
You're the best free throw shooter we've got on this team. Nobody I'd rather have at the free throw line right now than you. I was like,
yeah.
I was like, me? What are you talking about, right? But that guy built my confidence so much that I started thinking that way, right?
Yeah.
I was like, he's right.
Yeah.
I can knock down these free throws and would. And so that's a big deal, right? Where if he had been like, you suck, I'd have been like, yeah, I probably do, especially compared to you, right? I mean, so yeah, it's a good thing. But so let's talk about your faith for a minute, because I know it's important to you. Mm-hmm. How, through those hard times you were talking about, how has your faith really kind of gotten you through good times and bad? Because that's, sometimes people think, oh, well, it's easy when things are going good.
Oh, it's a lot easier, yeah.
Right? But the bad times, that faith is so important to keep you grounded in what you need to do.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like just time in his word. I mean, nothing hurts with going and reading some of the scripture. I mean, just constantly. I mean, it's not going to go anywhere, so it's like it's a constant.
Yeah.
So praying and talking to him, that helps a lot. I mean, just clearing your mind,
Absolutely.
stuff like that. Just praying and no injuries, just everybody does well, stuff like that.
Sure. I think that's awesome. That's awesome.
Well, yeah, absolutely. You talk about, we've talked a lot about time. We talked about putting time in on the court, time in the gym, and that's all important because you're practicing for your game.
Sure.
But I think also, time in the Word, studying the Word, like that's practicing and getting you ready for life. I mean, it's just, it's important. It's more important so than basketball, but
because you'll face a lot of hardships throughout your life.
Absolutely.
I mean, it'll be bigger than basketball is going to be done in 4 years.
Yeah.
So
maybe.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see.
Maybe.
We'll see.
For most people, but maybe not for Carter Trumbore.
Right, exactly right.
We'll be right back after this other commercial break.
This episode of Tailgate TV is brought to you in part by your Butler Sonic, your local drink stop. We always say the podcast is better with a drink in your hand, so run a Sonic and grab you one. And if you haven't tried their brand new fries, I tell you what, they're pretty great. Go get you some.
Welcome back. Carter Trumbore here on Tailgate TV.
So, talked a lot about basketball and what you've done in the past. Let's move on. Let's talk about the future. When did you start thinking about playing college basketball? When you start thinking, maybe I get a scholarship, maybe I get some college paid for? When did that become a thought for you?
I mean, I always really wanted it. I wanted to go to college to play basketball since I was little, but then just realistically, because every little kid's like, hey, I want to go D1, I want to go to Duke, I want to go to Kentucky, I want to go to KU. So it's like,
or
hey, I got
Arkansas.
that. Yeah, it's like I got that dream, and then it's like as you get older, it's like, hey, I like it's starting to get a little more realistic, and you know what to expect and stuff. And then I'd say my sophomore year, I was like, hey, I know I can get a scholarship somewhere. I'm good enough to go play. And then Baker, I chose that school, so it's a great opportunity for me.
I love it, and again, so many kiddos that play. Mm-hmm. Some don't have an opportunity, but obviously you recognized early that you did. And that's awesome. What was so? Well, let's start with this. How many schools contacted you, and just round number?
Maybe 8.
Okay.
Or so. Not all of them were great scholarships, but there was a scholarship present.
Gotcha.
So or something. So
how was that? That whole
stressful.
I was gonna say it would be for me.
A lot of visits, a lot of scrimmaging, a lot of new guys, new coaches to
right.
remember. It's like you go somewhere. this week and you meet a bunch of guys, and then hey, we're going somewhere next week and we're gonna meet a bunch of new people, and
Right.
it's just like, yeah, it's a little nerve wracking, but.
So, were they contacting you during the season, or does that? I don't even know how that works. Does it have to? Does it wait to the end?
So, like, for me, when it happened, I mean, I think it's like your junior year they can start
Right,
contacting you.
right.
So they started contacting me my, like, junior summer.
Okay.
It wasn't real heavy.
Okay.
I had a couple of coaches talk to me, and then, like, my senior years when it started really just take off.
Okay.
So, I mean, and then some coaches came to some games, so it started showing up a little bit. And then
I think I saw that.
Saw
a couple guys.
After seasons when I started going on a bunch of visits.
Yeah.
So.
That would be. I'm like you. That would be nerve wracking.
Yeah.
I would just be like, oh, let's just get this over with.
Yeah.
So, you've chosen to go to Baker University, home of the Wildcats.
Yep.
I like it. What's your major going to be? Have you decided about that?
I'm gonna go business. I
Okay.
don't know if I'm gonna do like finance or accounting or something
Okay.
like that, but I definitely want to be in the business field.
Gotcha. Awesome.
Business aspect.
Now, have you been able to do the dual credit things at the school?
Yeah, I think I have 18 dual
Okay,
credit hours,
okay.
so I'll have quite a bit of my freshman basic classes out of the way.
So important.
Yeah.
That, because I'm going to tell you, the basic stuff is what makes you crazy in college.
Yeah, and that's what takes so long.
Yes.
It's like the first 2 years of your college
Right,
career.
right. And it's stuff like you're going to whatever, right? And I was going to say science, but I know your mom's a science teacher, so I won't say that. But you're going into that, and you're like, because I just want to be a coach, right? I'm like, I don't care anything about whatever, right? About poetry.
Yeah.
Don't care. But here I am in this class.
Yeah.
Some people like poetry, bro.
Well, there you go. That tells you a lot right there.
So you've taken up a new sport this year.
Yes, you did.
I'm trying.
So you're golfing this year for the first time?
Yep, first time ever.
How is that? And because I would think excelling at one sport, I mean, you're a great basketball player. So then to go to something that it's your first time doing, and maybe you're not as good. I don't know. I haven't watched you play. I don't know if are you good at golf? Are you bad?
I'm not.
Somewhere in between.
I'd say I'm in the middle. I'm not bad,
Okay.
but I'm not good. I'm not good at all, but
Does-
I'm not bad.
Does that drive you crazy a little bit?
Yeah, it's very humbling. It's like,
Golf will humble you.
oh yeah,
It's a crazy sport,
Yes.
right? I mean, the guys, and I've told Cody this 100 times, but guys that play golf do not watch the PGA Tour. Those guys are freaks.
they're insane.
Yeah, they can do stuff that you shouldn't be able to do with a golf ball.
Yeah.
I mean, literally. I couldn't throw the golf ball where they hit it. You know what I mean? And they're phenomenal. I always tell people, if you're just getting into golf, watch the ladies. They are so fundamentally sound. They do such a good job of getting the ball.
They always just hit it straight.
Yeah, and that's sometimes
That's
the
more
hardest,
important.
right?
Yeah.
But golf's a great game though. You can play that forever.
Oh, yeah.
and especially if you're going into business, right? There's a little
And
bit
that's
of
why I wanted to pick it up. It's like I'm going into business, a lot of business, a lot of golf. So it's like, and I'll play it afterwards. So it's
Sure.
like it's just a good life skill.
It is. So you say you've never played it before. Did you ever even play it for recreation, or are you just like, no, this is the first time?
I mean, like the only like golf club in my hand experience is Top Golf.
Okay,
So
okay.
it's like that and some putt-putt.
I got
Other
you.
than that, it's like I've never really touched a golf club.
I understand.
But you've been enjoying it, having fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Get to miss some school, get to
Right.
be outside, so I can't complain.
See, and that's why I took up golfing. It's just to be it outside
Oh,
for
yeah.
me. It's something to do on a pretty day,
Oh yeah.
and especially if you got some buddies with you that want to go.
And,
It's a fun
and
time.
no better place than a golf course because it's always nice and
Just it's most of the time it's relaxing.
yes, like most of the time, right?
If you don't have a scorecard, you're not keeping score.
Yeah, then it's fun.
Then it's fun.
Right.
But if you get the scorecard keeping you going and play one ball, then it's like it's a little not as much fun.
Yeah.
Right.
Take the fun out of everything. Okay, so what fun questions? We're going to start getting into them. But what is something in your gym bag that might surprise people?
Tums.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're already that old.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't got a strong stomach when it comes to like food before games and stuff. So like if I eat something, most of the time I got to be cautious. So and then it's like, then if I get nervous and stuff, it's just like just to settle it down.
So
no
are
hot
you like a
dog-
chicken eater before games, like that kind of thing?
I
Something
like,
very
I like chicken
mild.
and rice before games, or like pasta.
well.
That's always a
See,
good option.
so, and you guys will not know who this is, but Wade Boggs, he was the third baseman for the Boston Red Sox for years,
I know
Hall
who
of
Wade Boggs
Famer,
is.
great player. He ate chicken. I think it was baked chicken and rice before a ball game, and he went like 4 for 4. He never ate anything but that for the rest of his career before a game.
Really?
Baseball
That's how-
players are weird.
Well, they are. They've got a little idiosyncrasies as they go. But yeah, so yeah,
No hot dogs or nachos in the middle of the game.
right.
Oh,
no,
not that. Not at all.
So we've got some fun questions. We always end with fun questions. Would you rather
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
be given $1 million right now,
Okay.
or be given 100 at bats in the major league and you get $2 million for every time you get on base?
If I get walked, does it count as getting on base?
If you get on base, that's all it says.
And how many
You get
at-bats?
100 at bats.
Oh, gosh.
And if you get on just once, you make double what you'd make right now.
Oh, yeah, but they're pitching so fast and all the curve, and hopefully they just hit me once.
Right.
Just wear pull the old Cameron Anderson and take one to the head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd probably duck out of the way. So I'd probably have to just take them.
Take the million?
Just take the million.
Probably a good plan.
Yeah. Because
Bird in the hand, better two in the
if I'm
bush.
swinging, I'm not getting it.
Right.
Well, and that was but you're fast enough too. You make it lay down a bunt and just make it 1 out of 100 times too.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, even if I swing it, it's like they're gonna field it and throw me out
Right,
before I can
right.
even get there. So
Yeah.
the chance I do hit it, they're probably gonna get me out anyways.
Just hit a home run. Just step
Yeah.
up there and
It's
that's all you
good.
got to do.
They
a
put it
good
on
plan.
a tee, maybe.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan wore over or under 3 numbers in his career.
Like whole career, like
Yeah.
NBA, high school, college.
NBA.
Oh, just NBA.
Yeah, and this is a little bit of a trick question, so go ahead.
I feel like it's got to be over.
It is over. He wore 23, obviously, most of his career. He
And
wore
wore that. He switched numbers or something.
he
for
wore
a while.
45
Yeah.
for 1 year. Had to do with, I think, his dad had something to do with that deal. So he wore 45. He wore 9 for Team USA.
See, that's where the
Okay,
trick comes
And he
in.
wore 9 because it was 4 and 5 together.
Okay.
And then he wore 12 one night because his jersey was stolen from the locker room.
Okay. Yeah, and that's what I was thinking because I watched The Last Dance. I'm like, I know he for sure had at least 2 numbers.
Yeah.
So I was like, I was thinking.
I didn't know about the having to wear 12 because his jersey was stolen.
Yeah.
I was like,
That's funny.
give that man a backup jersey.
Yeah.
Somebody like him.
You would think, right?
Yeah.
You would think, as many things as Michael Jordan did, you would think that they would have a first half, second half jersey, so the Hall of Fame could take the first half, right?
Or even I got blood all over because somebody busted my nose. Give me another jersey.
right. Well, they don't hit anybody that hard in the NBA anymore.
Only when he was playing the Pistons.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So, okay, this is a Brad question.
Brad question.
He
Bring
wanted
it
me to
on.
ask you
special.
this. What's an albatross?
I couldn't tell you.
In golf.
I couldn't
In
either.
golf.
I've never hit one.
And golf. I don't know. Maybe put it in the bunker or something.
No.
Brad, what's an albatross?
An albatross is when you make a 2 on a par 5.
Wow.
You ever done
That's
that?
impressive.
Right? Not
No.
so it's better than an eagle, right? Eagle's hitting a 3 on a par 5, but an albatross is a 2.
I'll have
We
to
wanted-
bring that out of golf tomorrow. See
Yeah,
if anybody
yeah,
knows.
yeah.
See, you learned something new.
Yeah.
We're going to stay with the birds.
Yes.
In bowling,
Bowling.
what's a turkey?
Oh, I know this one, I think. If you get a strike and maybe another strike, or
One more.
you knock all the pins
No.
out.
You get 3 strikes.
strikes?
3
In a
strikes in a
row.
row
Okay.
Is a turkey.
is a turkey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't know who came up with that or why they came up
Yeah.
with it.
Well,
But-
a bowler.
Or a turkey hunter.
Well,
Yeah.
that too.
True or false? Here's a big one.
Uh-oh.
50-50 shot
You're gonna
right here.
you're gonna end all the debating right now.
Absolutely 50-50.
True or false? Wilt Chamberlain scored 100 points in a game.
I feel like it's got to be true. I mean, might not. I don't know about the evidence and stuff, but it's pictures and stuff. so.
It's supposedly true.
It's
that's what I
true.
think. It's gotta be
It's
true.
true.
And then there's a whole conspiracy theory because there's no
Yeah.
video and the recording broadcast was lost and there's only a picture of him holding up.
And if it didn't happen since 2000, it didn't exist.
Yeah, I don't know. We're iffy on that one. If you were playing, here's a fun one. They're all fun.
Fun.
Oh yeah.
If you were playing in the Masters
Oh,
and you got to start every hole on the green, but the farthest away from the pin, and all the other golfers had to start in the tee box,
I'm not beating them.
could you win?
Probably not.
Okay.
Well, I saw like a TikTok the other day about how fast the greens are. So it's like if you
Oh,
barely
yeah.
hit it or if you miss, it's gone.
And those greens are huge. I mean, those
Oh,
greens are
yeah.
double, triple the size of the greens that were. I mean, those are some fairly big greens.
it's
too.
like
yeah.
I used to hear people say it's like putting in a bathtub,
Yeah.
and I think that's about right. I mean, they're fast.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you all know this or not, but Augusta National, which is where the Masters is played, not only heat their greens, they also air condition their greens.
Whoa.
So if
that.
the weather outside's hot, they can keep their grass cool on the green so it doesn't burn. And then in the wintertime, obviously they heat it so it stays nice.
Even
So,
when the weather outside is frightful.
I'm gonna tell you that's they put a lot of work to make that course as beautiful as it is, and it is a great course.
It's nice.
Last question. True or false? Sonic is in all 50 states.
False.
That is false. How many states do you think it's in?
37.
44.
It's pretty close.
44. We feel bad for Alaska, Hawaii, Maine, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, and Vermont.
Well, I was about to say, I was like, I can't picture one in being in Hawaii.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of.
That's one of the reasons I've never been to Hawaii, because I don't want to go anywhere that doesn't have a Sonic.
Well, how are you gonna get a drink?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's no place to
They're
get
the
a
drink stop.
Get a Route 44. But I was my wife and I last year, whatever I think it was last year, went to Alaska. By the way, if you ever get a chance to go to Alaska, go. You'll love it. But yeah, not a whole. I was Juneau, which is their capital. The only way you can get to Juneau is either by plane or by boat. There's no roads that go in there.
That's what I thought.
And I'm like, how in the world could you get frozen burgers and
Yeah.
fresh potatoes and all
Everything
that
there's
stuff?
frozen. I wasn't worried about
No.
the frozen part.
Well, I'm just saying.
It's Alaska.
I'm just saying. Because they talk about up there that like they only get shipments in every 3 days. So milk's expensive, eggs are expensive because, again, it's
Supply and demand.
3 or 4 days before you get something. Yeah, it's crazy.
Speaking of Sonic, we'd like to thank them for their sponsorship of Tailgate TV, along with some other wonderful companies that sponsor us and help us out, Brad.
And we appreciate each one of them. O3 Customs, great job with our hats. They do super job. Mid-America Live, CNS Graphics, Prepcast, the Butler Chamber of Commerce, and Emmanuel Baptist Church. Thank you, each and every one.
And thank you for watching Tailgate TV. And thanks, Carter, for coming on and talking to us.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely.